Namaste, my dear friends. And we continue with the wisdom sharing. And came a question from Stefan from Switzerland. First of all, I want to greet all of our beautiful Swiss community. We haven't seen each other in life for a while, and looking forward when the next time will happen. And the question is, thank you, Vadim, for the insightful and interesting video and sharing. I have a follow-up question. What could it be about me that that I keep feeling like I'm hearing or feeling hidden messages and signals from people uh, that make me feel like I'm not supporting them or helping them? So they don't ask directly, but somehow hidden, or at least that's how I perceive it. Uh, This also applies to very earthy things like starting or carrying out a project or even doing the housework. I then, of course, feel bad and I try to explain that it's not my place to help or even to see that something starts. But that if I see that someone is also involved, I'm happy to support or join if it's wanted for or called for. This discussions then go so far that I have to really fight for my right not to have to do this if I don't want to. And then I have a feeling that I'm being held responsible. Of course, it has to do with relationships and love. Just mentioning, by the way. Thank you for your brief feedback. Namaste. It's a very good question, as quite often uh, we have inside of ourselves different parts. So even when we have some clearance with our close ones about who does what and who needs help with what, it happens that first of all, not all things when they're clear, conflicts might appear in misunderstanding each other. And when we have a culture when people are not fully open about what they feel inside, then we can get tensions. It's called suppressed anger. And eventually, when that suppressed anger piles up, we start to feel that in the other person. So when the person is doing something or not doing, we start to feel what they feel inside. As a result, this feeling inside of us makes us want to go and help the other person or act upon those small and other things. My first recommendation is of course to speak about what you feel inside, because not all things can be explained logically. But when you approach your loved ones and you tell them that I feel inside that you would like me to help, or I feel inside that you're feeling tension, because when I look at you, I get this inner feeling inside. So try to discuss what you feel inside towards the person when they're doing those or those things upon you have agreed upon. That's first thing. Second thing, just remember that inside of ourselves, we also have sub-personalities. The sub-personalities are usually traumatized part of us from some kind of early age, but still which walk with us and are being triggered in those or those situations. When the sub-personalities come out, you can recognize them by the fall of energy, by the rise of a specific mental pattern, which makes us act in a specific strange way, and also emotionally. When we're emotionally, the emotions rise, it's usually a reflection of that something has been triggered inside of us, and now it wants to come out. Through that, our conscious presence and behavior action changes, and often our close ones might have a similar reaction, having their sub personalities. And then already in this moment, they're not two conscious grown-ups speaking with each other, but actually two children with their own problem and issues and fighting modes are being turned on. And especially in the family, it is being triggered the most because the majority of sub personalities were created while we were growing up with our parents. So about 80% of sub personalities appeared up to the age of 18. So that's why you just have to know that back at home, we have the hardest process of interaction because when we're with the outer world, we're focused, we're present, people don't distract us. When we're at home, then there are a lot more triggers. And also, when we're communicating with our close ones, it could be also a part of our ancestor roots. The ancestor roots or our ancestors can play out scenarios which they lived through in their past lives. And as a result, we just start to see that our pattern of behavior and reaction can be absolutely different from our essence as we know who we are. So, for that reason, I highly recommend to pay double or triple attention to such situation. Discuss your feelings, try to understand is it you and the person, or is it some kind of a protection mechanism as a sub personality? Or it might be your ancestor roots, which are speaking right now and playing out a theater in your interaction. So I think many of us have the same experience connected with close ones, and I just inspired to be open about your feelings, not to fall into the emotions, and always discuss openly everything that happens inside of us. Your feelings matter even more than the mind or the emotions. And once we start to discuss them, we actually start to perceive things from a different aspect. So I truly, Stefan, wish you and your wonderful family and loved ones harmony, love, and understanding. And now always lead open discussions about the things that matter, as you're the only one who is creating all of it. And even in the small things, there's a deep, beautiful lesson to learn. So, namaste, much love, and blessings.